So the computer market is destroyed. Everything is super expensive. Buying a big, large gaming PC or a powerful laptop with tons of storage can be very expensive. Macs with tons of storage is very expensive. So what can you do? Well, you can get yourself something like a mini PC or a laptop that doesn't necessarily have as much storage. A Mac in general, like all Apple products, don't necessarily have lots of storage. And then you can expand it. You can expand it with more storage. This is an ORICO Thunderbolt 5, or they're saying 80 gigabit, but it's Thunderbolt 5 or USB 4 80 gigabit, meaning it runs very fast. But you buy, an SSD, Gen 4 SSDs usually on the low end run at 5,500. At the high end, you're looking at 7,800-ish megabytes a second. So you pay all this money for an SSD and you're not getting the speed out of it, right? So a lot of the times, I recommend getting the slowest possible NVMe for enclosures. With these here, you're gonna be able to run them significantly faster. That's the whole point here. It can run way faster. So this here is an 80 gigabit. It can go up to 6,000 megabytes a second over Thunderbolt 5 or USB 80 gigabit. We'll test that. This is the Thunderbolt 5 equipped laptop. My Mac Mini Pro and this little enclosure thing here also is the Pro chip, so it does support Thunderbolt 5. I mean, if you're going to buy into one of these enclosures, honestly, I sort of recommend not buying a USB 4 or a Thunderbolt 4 enclosure anymore, unless maybe the price is super cheap. The reason being, you're not paying much more to buy into a Thunderbolt 5. I mean, yeah, they can be actually twice the price, but you're going to be paying the money anyways. These are forward thinking. So we're at the cusp now, 2026, where more and more laptops are going to be coming out with Thunderbolt 5. You get your little screwdriver, thermal pad, and information. It's also it's very sleek, actually. It's a very sleek little thing here, and that's going to help keep the size down for a carry. It also looks cool to just kind of leave it like that. It looks like a neat little thing. Rubberized feet on the bottom so it doesn't slide around. Just some design on the top there, very cool. That appears to be actually like a metal material, very good. The whole thing is a heatsink, so it's metal, and it has like radiator grills, that kind of stuff. So Gen 4 NVMe's running at high speed will get hot because that's how they work. And so if you have a large piece of metal like this, it's going to work like a giant heatsink. This is a very fast NVMe. One or the other does the same job as if it wasn't. Okay, so that's that there. Now you're going to slap this on here, and you can see that metal should touch that. Yeah, and you can see a little bit of residue. Right? So that little bit of thermal pad should be touching this. Yeah, very good. Okay, so we're just going to honestly test it. We'll just test it for speeds, and then we'll test it for thermals. I am going to test it for backwards compatibility. Now, in all honesty, this is going to be a very straightforward test. We're just going to run it and see how the thermals are and how the performance is. So we'll come down here. Where's our NVMe? And then any Pro with heatsink. Temperatures are essentially nothing here. All right, go like that there. You can see it's essentially nothing. 40, under 40. It's running really cool. I mean, it's a giant heatsink, right? So that's that there. It's just not getting remotely hot. That's fine. Okay, we'll run it again. We can see there it's still kind of hanging out. Okay, so that's faster. So Thunderbolt 4 was running at slightly higher than Thunderbolt 4 speeds. Thunderbolt 5 is running exactly as advertised. Now, the reason I tested Thunderbolt 4 is, did you notice how fast the Thunderbolt 4 was going? It was going at like 38, almost 4,000 megabytes a second. That's one of the nice things that I find about these Thunderbolt 5 enclosures. Because the actual chip in here and the cable is designed for 80 gigabit, I personally have found that when you run it on backwards compatibility to Thunderbolt 4, it actually runs faster than a Thunderbolt 4 enclosure. And I have found, and I've done this many tests so far, that when I run Thunderbolt 5 enclosures on a Thunderbolt 4 device, it runs about 500, 600, or even 700 megabytes a second faster than running a Thunderbolt 4 enclosure. Okay, now here we are on the Mac, the Mac. Now, if you can see here, I actually run like a little enclosure thing for my Mac over there, and I have drives inside of it, which allows me to expand the Mac storage because the Mac storage is like pathetic. So one of the things I want to show you here, this is cool. You'll find this interesting, maybe. I would. Oops, what we're doing. Disk utility, watch this. I actually run, it doesn't say. These two NVMe's that are inside of this external enclosure thing are actually ORICO branded. I run ORICO branded NVMe's. So I use ORICO NVMe's, just so you know. You can check out, I've done some reviews of the ORICO NVMe's. I just buy them because they're competitively priced, especially in this market. So, I mean, okay, sure. If you do decide to buy this, I'll put some links in the video description down below to buy this. If I can find, I don't have an affiliate with these guys at all, but if I can find some Amazon affiliate links, I'll put them down because that's nice. It'll support the channel, and I buy a lot of this stuff. Watch how fast this is now. Like I have the internal storage should be around 4.5, right? Not too bad. Reads obviously faster. It's always how it is, 6,000. Okay, so nice and fast on the internal. These are my external ORICOs that are different, unrelated. They're just in this kind of slower enclosure here, just whatever. And they're running nice and quick. No problems there whatsoever. 10 gigabit, approximately 10 gigabit speeds. No problems. Good for, like, to be honest, I use one of them for gaming and the other one for like just storing crap. Sometimes video editing, but then this one will run much faster. This one here, obviously, right? It's going to run significantly faster. So here we're getting 4 point whatever and 6 point whatever. So let's come back here. We'll run the internal at the same time. You can see it's approximately the same speed as the internal NVMe. Now, this is a Mac Mini Pro. The Mac Mini Pro has the faster storage than the base Mac Mini, of course. So it's basically it is technically slightly faster than the internal storage on reads, and actually quite a bit faster on writes. A full gigabit per second. So it's fast, right? You're able to take this Mac Mini. This is not a base, so it's the Pro, but it only has 512 gigabytes of storage, right? Something like that, I think I said. So not only am I able to, expand this pathetic amount of storage, I'm able to expand it with fast storage. So there you go. That's the drive. Okay, so it has backwards compatibility with the previous generation, Thunderbolt 4. And on Thunderbolt 4, it doesn't just run normal, it actually runs faster than a Thunderbolt 4 enclosure, right? I don't have any more Thunderbolt 4 enclosures. I'm getting rid of them. I'm actually replacing them with these because they're way faster. So Thunderbolt 4, if your port on your computer only has Thunderbolt 4, right? Like you have a little Thunderbolt 4 port there, USB 4. This will actually extract more performance out of it than a Thunderbolt 4 enclosure, just so you know. And I've found that on I've tested 10 different external enclosures now. So it is consistent, I can say scientifically with a fairly high probability that these will extract higher performance than a standard Thunderbolt 4. So that's great. The other thing is, of course, it runs very fast. 80 gigabit enclosure from ORICO, up to 6,000 megabytes a second speed, except it's actually faster than that. They undersold themselves. Yeah, it's lovely. And it doesn't run hot. This thing feels nice and cool to the touch. All of their NVMe's have been good. All of their docks have been good. All of their products have been good. I buy a lot of the stuff, like all the NVMe's, I buy them myself. I bought a few docks over the years. They have also sent me some stuff as well. And so, but I'm happy to cover their products because I've never had a product that I don't like. I recommend them on my Discord. I recommend them on YouTube. And then the people who buy the products from ORICO that I recommend never come back and complain to me. They never come back and are like, man, I bought this ORICO thing because you told me to buy it and it's a piece of crap. I hate when that happens because then I feel like garbage. These have all been rock solid. Every time I've recommended an ORICO product to somebody, I have heard only either nothing, which is good. Hearing nothing is sometimes good. Or they've come back and be like, man, that thing's actually really good. So there it is. Great product. Very nice.